Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's matchup between Redbirdgrad and xIceblue. Going to be joining in process here. Looks like xIceblue has already found level 4. Redbirdgrad is doing a little bit of exploration on the coast. And Darkfall's joining tonight will be Antlers. So we found level 4, right off the coast. Smaller dungeon, tends to be ladder blocked quite often. This is the All Boards, No Swords tournament. Going to be no swordless, and we're going to be looking for all 8 boards, so we're going to have to do all 8 levels. Apologize for the rough start. We are making do with what we have. So what they're doing right now is they're looking for the armor's item. That tends to be very important in these swordless flags. Not going to be in the Lost Hills. xIceblue is still looking for it in the Dead Woods. It's carrying in chat. Yes, the indicator in the bottom left is showing the new item tracking. So we have a secret. It's a 117, so that's a nice large secret. There will be 3 of those in this world set since we're playing with First Quest Overworld. xIceblue fighting Take Any Heart, so that's going to give him 4. We know we want to get between 4 and 6 to get the bomb upgrade, which we have changed a little bit. It won't be an item anymore, it will be a upgrade. That'll give you a max 2 capacity bombs plus a full set. So we found our armor item. It's only a heart container, so that's not what we really want to see. We want to get some offense. We need some more than just bombs. And I do believe I do have Fury SK with me in chat. How you doing today, Fury?
I'll just quickly getting set up. Go ahead and take it for a bit.
Alright, so we found the armor item. It was just a heart container. And that was in the... that was up in the Death Hills Armos. Death Mountain Armos, I should say. We have xIceblue looking around the coast. And Redbirdgrad has gone back into 4. Bails back out. So what Redbirdgrad is trying to do now is try to get some early bombs, and we have some information from xIceblue. Finds a hint shop, finds out that the book is on level 1, And the wand is going to be on level 8, so he's going to try to make a beeline for level 8 as soon as he can. And the ladder is in level 1 as well, so those are nice hints. So ladder and wand, two of our items that we really want to find in this seed have been found just by that one hint set. Granted, we still have to find them, so they could be blocked by some means, but knowing where they are is a huge benefit for xIceblue. So as I said, we are going to be looking for all 8 Triforce beasts, I should say. So they do have to go through all 8 dungeons on their hunt to rescue Ganon. Rescue Zelda from Ganon. And not the friendliest of overworlds, not a ton of bomb droppers. We do find some in a shop for like 15 rupees, so that's a nice pickup for xIceblue. There might only be one of those shops since I haven't seen any more of them.
It's a nice little discount.
Yeah, 5 off than normal. Redbirdgrad is going to the casino corner part of Hyrule. We're going to open the bomb spots and check the few open caves up here. Looking for levels 1, 2, 3, someone that he can beat with only very little offense at the moment. And xIceblue does find level 8, so let's see how free our wand is, if it is free. Gets beaten up by the Manhandler, but he does get the map, which he really probably didn't even want, but at least knows where he is in the dungeon now.
You know, that looks like a solid room for it to be in. Well, it was good old, hey, you know that wand you want? Well, here's a whole bunch of Pole's voice that you can't kill without the bow and arrow.
Yeah, so it could be one of those seeds where we have to go looking for that to pick up something. Nice Manhandler kill, though. But now he runs into a room with keys, so he's got to burn them, then come back and go back in. Redbirdgrad, however, has found his favorite level 7. And a very quick item in level 7, it was a silver arrows.
It's never level 7, man, until it is.
Well, in normal case, yeah, I'd agree with you, but thankfully it was only one room in, and you have to go into level 7 at some point in this flag set anyway, so you might as well. To answer a question in chat, all boards means we have to go through all 8 dungeons, get the Triforces, and then go into level 9 to defeat Ganon. So level 9 will not open until all 8 dungeons are completed. So if you were xIceblue right now, this is a pretty resource-heavy dungeon. You know your wand is here, but you know your ladder's in level 1. Are you going to stay in level 8, or are you going to be looking for 1 to try to get around this level 8 a little more efficiently? And Redbird has found level 1. Well, that answers that question. xIceblue has found the wand.
Yeah, I was going to offer my advice, but I figured I might as well wait until we at least see if that's it. And in fact, it was. Long story short, I'm a big fan of getting overworld exploration and your bomb upgrade out of the way when possible, so normally I would have stayed up top, but hey, if you get the one that early, why not?
Gonna smack this Gleeok in the head a few times. Maybe get a Triforce off it. And Redbird has left level 1. He's gonna go dig around, like you said, is taking a look around, see what else he can find. There's a nice little damage boost on the top of the waterfall. Finds it taking your lose your money room, saves and quits out of it to save it. And xIceblue is dealing with the Pole's voice now. Random facts telling us that RBG was key blocked on level 1, so that makes sense of why he took off from there.
Yep, he does have a ton of money, so he may make that call pretty early to pick up a key from a shop if he finds one.
Yeah, I know RBG is a pretty large proponent of buying keys whenever possible. Also find levels 5. Now, it'll be interesting to see how xIceblue capitalizes on this wand advantage to see exactly how long it'll take before Redbird picks it up.
Yeah, it just depends on when he routes level 8 in, because from what I saw, it was not that overly difficult to get to the room with the wand, so I'm sure once he gets to level 8, it won't be a matter of...
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty much on the beaten path, and very nice wand kill by that manhandler. Finds out the Triforce is only one room to the left of where he just was. But gets locked into a room with a Goma, so he's going to up an A and head back to start.
Yeah, I think he's searching for keys in random rooms, hoping for some key drops. Meanwhile, the bomb upgrade, while fairly cheap, did not pay off with the amount of bombs I think Redbirdgrad probably wanted.
That bomb upgrade just gave me a PTSD from last night. Redbird picking up the raft in level 5. I don't think xIceblue picked up the Triforce yet in this level 8. Nope, there it is. So that gives him a 1 Triforce advantage over Redbird, but still pretty early in the seed.
Yeah, the only benefit is that he won't have to double dip it at any point by grabbing that, unless by some random chance the other item was something important.
Now that's interesting. Level 8 was actually right next door to level 5, so Redbird should be finding it pretty quickly. And xIceblue will probably pick up his draft momentarily.
Yeah, so far it looks like the items are fairly free in a lot of these dungeons, but the Triforce is a little bit more of a wall.
And RBG has, in fact, stumbled into level 8. So we know he'll pick up his wand as long as he takes a few rooms. Hopefully he doesn't bail away from this manhandle. Nice kill.
Yep, you can either be really good or really lucky, and I think he was a little bit of both on that one, but
yeah, the manhandler kind of caught him in the bottom part of the NSU room and kind of bounced off the wall, and that let him get in the recoil of the candle shot, thankfully. The bomb shot, I should say. xIceblue with his 1 is going to be clearing more of the 5. That's good for him because he doesn't have to double dip later on. Caesar is in fact ladder block though.
it looks like Redbird took the upper route in this dungeon, so he's actually just missing out on his wand, which is just the room below him, I believe.
Yeah, but benefit for him though is he doesn't want to spend that key, so he'll probably try to take other doors first. RBG is very hesitant to use keys unless he absolutely has to. xIceblue burning down the forest. Not too much yet. Trying some more money. And I believe this is where RBG will get his wand, but runs to the backside of the Gliok and has to go back to start for now.
Yeah, with that staircase right across the way from this room in particular, I would expect him just to walk across and be able to get it pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he stopped and saw that, and he's going back for it, because that's going to let him catch up to xIceblue just a bit. And RBG with his combat prowess is going to go into another mode now.
Yeah, this is one of those seeds where both runners are pretty skilled at the game combat-wise, so once they both get a wand in any colored ring or any amount of hearts, it's just going to be go, go, and go, and we're going to see a lot of Triforces pretty.
I will say RBG does have one advantage over xIceblue. He knows that that ladder is level 1, and he does have 3 keys, so it won't shock me to see how quickly he goes back over there. And he picks up his Triforce in 8, and he might move on for now. He might gamble on that second item.
Yeah, I think on level 1, it's just a matter of finding it for xIceblue. Level 1, no matter really your strategy, is a dungeon you prefer to dig because of its item volume and its size.
Unless it has a horde of wizards, and then you say no and come back later. RBG making very quick work of the bunnies. I'll be interested in just how long RBG chooses to stay in here to see if he does get that second item or not. So RBG does in fact use his key to go to the right.
Hey, that hit would have been useful there.
And he is ladder blocked now, unless he chooses to go back and find another route. Okay, so he can't go one room over.
Looks like a lot of the time advantage or disadvantage is going to come out of what is in fact in level 8 along with the wand.
RBG has now found level 2, the other nice small dungeon.
Well, we're going to find out here momentarily what exactly the second item was. What do you
This is something like the power bracelet or the flute or something giving that 7 movement, and it's well, that's actually good. I won't turn down boomerang and swordlet. I don't think I'll go out of my way for it, but I won't turn it down.
I mean, if we learned anything last night, it's good to have that to stun a lot of enemies in one spot so you can take care of them all at once.
We have not found the ladder yet, but we know it's in level 1. No item yet in this level 2. Not the kindest of enemy sets, though. Pancakes and wizards.
Yeah, the pancakes with the wand aren't so bad, but the Lionels and the Wizrobes together not a fun combo for any dungeon. On the bright side, he will be able to kill the blue Lionels for some bomb drops potentially, so if he ever runs out in this dungeon, he has that.
RBG finds the second hidden shop, finds out the book is in one.
I believe it was xIceblue that found this the first time around.
Okay, so this is the same hidden shop that we found before. Okay, for some reason I was thinking it was down the Deadwoods. So RBG does now have the knowledge that the ladder is in one, so he'll probably be heading back there to pick that up.
Yep, probably still looking for the bomb upgrade and a little bit of information on this route before upping and saving and going up. So you really don't want to sit there and interrupt your entire route just to go back and get the ladder before you know that you need it. Although it will be a good place to go back to.
Well, we do know we need for 5 at the very least, but he does know where that Triforce is already. And that's a pretty pitiful low at only 3 rupees. Yes, level 1 is up in the Lost Hills. I forget exactly which cave it was, but RBG is probably heading over that general direction now. Now, level 1 does seem to be pretty key heavy, and RBG only has 1 key, so we'll see how long he pokes around in there.
Yep, for the most part, it's really key intensive and drops quite a few keys, so if nothing else, he's going to hope that he's able to find a key or 2 on the floor before he runs into all the key doors.
It looks like we found the bow in level 2. I did not see him pick that up, but I must have been just hanging out on the ground.
Yep, so we know where all the most important pieces of the puzzle are for this seed, so could be in for a bit of a jet once both runners find all 3 pieces.
And RBG picks up his ladder, so that's going to give him even better movement throughout the dungeons. xIceblue, however, goes up on the Triforce count, gets the Triforce at level 2.
And based on what's on the coast, I would probably expect Redbirdgrad to head back that way after he cleans up level 1.
Yeah, at 0 keys, you want to get the any key as soon as possible, for sure. It was a very quick any road to get back over there, so it definitely makes sense to go pick up the any key before going to more dungeon.
Yep, and with that, it's also going to leave him in a situation where his money's only going to be particularly useful for bomb upgrades and potentially bait block. So you could see a couple more uses come into play, such as even the blue ring. Not saying that either runner potentially would want it, but sometimes when you run into all those Lionels and Wizropes in the same dungeon, you look for some sort of safety.
Well, we've seen time and time again how important resource management is in these seeds. So having not to worry about a key count, for example, is just one less stress you have to worry about. Smart move by RBG though to dip into level 4 right after getting the any key. He has the ladder, so that takes the ladder block away from him. And now with the any key, he can kind of just fly through it and hopefully pick up another item. xIceblue stumbling into level 7. We'll see how much he digs out here. Gonna find his silvers, I believe, here. And we have our item in level 4. It is our flute. So that's actually a nice item. It lets you transport the overworld a little bit more efficiently.
Yep, it also takes one more potential item block for a dungeon off the board as well, and takes off dig doggers too from within dungeons.
And the Triforce level 4 was also ladder blocked, so good thing he picked that up before coming here.
Looks like 7 has the same nasty setup as level 2 did, with its enemy set being Wizrobes and Lionels again.
RBG's making very quick work of level 4 so far. Knows that the Triforce can't be here because it's a dark room.
Yeah, worst case scenario is that dig dogger had a compass underneath him somewhere, but not going to take the time to clear that out when a lot of these rooms are going to be free.
No, RBG does have one bomb upgrade, so he has a max of 10 at the moment, so once he gets the white sword, that'll put him up to 12, and then that's probably where he'll stop unless he finds the second upgrade somewhere.
Correct, I don't think he'll take another dungeon upgrade, but he may opt into the magical sword given how many hearts he's found and how few dungeons he's done.
Well, with the any key under his belt, it wouldn't shock me to see him pick up the second bomb upgrade because it was only 80 rupees. Looks like he's going to take a trip across the water using that newfound raft to see if that can pay off for us today. xIceblue, however, has found level 1, so we'll see exactly how well he does here. Has plenty of keys, so he should be getting his ladder pretty quickly. The any key is now tracked because it's not an imperative item, and you can kind of tell just by the letter A next to their key count. It was just hanging out on the coast, though. And xIceblue has picked up his ladder, so they're pretty much back on equal footing. Small discrepancy in the Triforce count, but not by much. And RBG is in level 2, so he'll grab his bow momentarily.
Now, this is shaping up to be quite the jet seat at the moment.
Yeah, but xIceblue now has his bow, his ladder, and his silver, so he knows he just needs to get Triforce and go. RBG is in basically the same situation, so they can kind of just fly at this point. So they're both going to just burst through the sea. And he gets the Triforce in 2. I don't know if he picked up the bow, though.
Don't believe he did. I think that was more of a whoops, I got really close to this.
That's one of the nice parts about the any key is you can trick those old men. You don't need to give them the 5 keys, you can just give them the 1 any key, and you'll still have infinite. So that's a nice thing to have when you find a take any of that caliber.
Yep, because remember, xIceblue already went through that room and he had to give up his heart container in order to get through that and get into these last 2 rooms. The boomerang is not required, but it's quite a nice item to have because it allows you to stun up a lot of enemies, which include basically Lionels in dungeons, moblins, pancakes, just about half of the dungeon set you can stun. On top of that, you can stun the mini dig doggers, the little pieces that come out when the dig dogger gets the whistle blown.
RBG also having a little bit of a run around level 2 trying to find this ladder, this bow I should say. There it is, just picks up off the ground and he'll be moving on.
Yep, the only potential block left for both runners really is going to end up being the power bracelet. Because you would assume that xIceblue is going to eventually walk through level 4's general path, and it had the item on that way in this room right here.
I think the only level we're missing right now is level 6, so that could potentially be blocked still, but we still have a lot of Death Mountain to look through.
Looks like Redbird's going to opt to try and get through level 7 now that he has a handful more heart containers and a wand in hand. See if he can find the Triforce.
He also has 10 bombs and the any key, so that's going to be a benefit to him also. Says hello to Goma, but he has his bow now, so he can just shoot it. Now, when you see a room like this that Redbird is in, that could potentially be a Triforce room. You're going to want to leave that until you have the Trident and the Compass or your last room. And you want to kind of get that as your room of last resort type situation.
Yeah, you're going to try and bomb south and potentially right, depending on where that room was exactly. I don't recall. And if you get a couple of them all hit at once with a bomb, you might drop a second bomb just to thin it out for later, but you're not going to sit there and clear the whole room.
Map level 7 is not always the worst thing. It lets you know exactly where you are. Someone of Redbird's combat and skill in this game probably knows that, but still nice to know exactly where you can bomb and where you can't. xIceblue still in level 4, looking for the Triforce, only a couple rooms away. And I believe that will equal up on the Triforce count. Neither one of them has found level 6 yet, so that's still kind of our dungeon at large.
Oh hey, a feat of strength will lead to the red candle.
So that does in fact tell us that it's one of two things. Either level 6 is going to be underneath the grave, or it will be a power bracelet spot. But either way, that's a huge hint for RBG to have.
Well, I mean, the CU is feeling kind of free before this, so if it's power bracelet blocked, at least it gives him something to play with. And yeah, I don't think we've seen level 9 either, so there are two potential options.
Okay, so either 6 or 9 will be power bracelet blocked. RBG picks up that Triforce on level 7. It looks like xIceblue is going to be going around his footsteps and heading over to 7 himself now.
Do we have a 3 sighting yet, even?
I don't believe so, actually. It's a good call.
Alright, so we got 3 and 6 outstanding. 5 was ladder blocked. And 7, we're just looking at xIceblue trying to find the Triforce. Looks.
Yeah, 3, 6, and 9 we haven't been able to find yet. Triton asked about the red ring. Now, for a typical race, I would say a lot of people definitely want to go for that. I know RPG is not someone who particularly cares about the red ring, so I don't think he'll go out of his way to find it. I'm not quite sure about xIceblue, but I think with his combat prowess, he's kind of in the same boat. And I believe this is the item for xIceblue, so the Triforce for xIceblue, so this is actually going to be a much, much quicker level 7 for him.
Yep, that was definitely an efficient third trip into this, or second trip, depending on how many times he'd been in there. But really, once you bombed up in that item room, it was pretty straightforward to get there outside of that bomb wall, and you kind of got cut off by Zelda's room with the Goma in it, stopping you from going the other direction.
Now, chat did bring up a very good point, that he might not have seen the, never mind. I don't know if he saw the power bracelet hint, but chat saying that he in fact did.
Yeah, it was actually a forced route hint, so you could not have gotten around it.
xIceblue back into 5 and just grabbed that quick Triforce and head away.
Yep, not surprising that both are actually going for it, because it's within their route down into the Dead Woods, and then they won't have to come back this direction anytime. The unfortunate bit for Redbird is he apparently did not know that this room with the Zols in the circular mode had it, so he's going to clear a little bit more of the dungeon before he finds it.
xIceblue gonna take a trip. I was gonna say he might take a trip across the White River, but he passes on that one. Yes, the raft was in 5, and he did in fact get the raft. And this will be his Triforce, so he'll be tied up once again.
So at this point, I think it's really just a matter of who can find the outstanding dungeons first, and I think it's down to just whatever they find has to have the power bracelet. Unless
we
both
know
3
the
and
power
6 are
bracelet's being
open.
3 or 6 at the moment.
Hey, you know it can't be in 9 because of that hint, unless it's at the grave.
Looks like xIceblue is going back up to the Lost Hills section, and Redbird is going through the Dead Woods at the moment. xIceblue finding the second hint shop. He does have max money as well. See if he buys anything.
In his shoes, I would not likely buy anything, so it won't give you a locational hint unless something's been bugged out. And he pretty much knows that the power bracelet's going to be in one of the 2 dungeons he finds. You might still dig 3 as well because of the potential for the red ring to be there. You wouldn't dig 6 necessarily.
Well, he did save, so he's gonna retry after this. So he finds out that the power bracelet has level 6.
Well, I guess that makes it all worthwhile then. And he has that recorder erased. That was useless.
So he knows he has to go into level 6 now and get not only the Triforce but the item. And we find that our magical sword item in the Dead Woods.
Yep, just one heart short on both sides from being able to potentially pick it up.
And we do in fact need that power word since it was not at the grave. Alright, so they're both going to Death Mountain, so the theory states we should find at least one of our 2 dungeons up here. And we do find level 6.
Yep, this is really going to come down to whether or not Redbirdgrad finds level 6 and decides to leave to go find 3 first, or if he decides to go ahead and dig it knowing that the power bracelet's 50-50 to potentially be in there. Normally you'd save the health refill, but in this case, knowing that 6 might have a bit of an enemy set that can sit there and poke you with boomerangs and kind of tic-tac damage, it's easier to just go ahead and take the refill right off the bat and then dig and make sure that you can get to the power bracelet without dying.
Now 6 does tend to be kind of long and windy, so if it's at the bottom part, this could take a little bit. Any key and ladder in hand can take any blocks away from you though.
Meanwhile, it does look like RBG's going to find the same hint shop. I don't think he's going to do a save and retry strat here because he's probably feeling a bit of a time crunch.
Yeah, I don't think he really cares about money at this point. There's really nothing else he would want to buy. But he does get that hint about the power bracelet, and he's going to go straight up to Death Mountain.
Meanwhile, it's an extremely efficient level 6. Anytime you can get out of there with just 8 rooms explored with a Triforce and the item, you take.
And RBG is straight on his heels, grabs that Triforce right away as well.
So what do you think, assuming he's going back in, which he is, this is probably about a 2-minute difference in this race at this point. This could be really, really close in level 9.
It really depends on the route that RBG will take here in level 6. If he goes the right direction, which it looks like he is, this is going to be extremely close. Because level 3 is not a big dungeon. Yeah, the other question you have to ask yourself is, do you continue looking up in the Dead Woods for, in the Death Mountain for levels 3 or 9 if they're up here? Because if he goes power bracelet hunting and it's level 9, he still has to find level 3.
Well, with the recorder in hand for both runners, they can easily get back up to level 6, which is in Eastern Death Mountain, and kind of walk their way west. So it's not that illogical to leave and look at power bracelet spots in hopes that it's level 3 that's left.
Yeah, unfortunately RBG is taking a transport, so it's going to run him around just a bit.
I think clearing Death Mountain really makes sense if you don't have the recorder in hand, though.
It doesn't look like xIceblue is going back up to Death Mountain now. No, I was going to grab the one bed start first.
Yep, I suspect he'll go ahead and take this one, flute back to 6, and look at the power bracelet spot in the grave to confirm it is either level 9 or 3 before clearing out Death Mountain potentially.
And it was level 9 that was power bracelet blocked down by start. And there's the power bracelet by RBG, so they're back neck and neck once again. Now let's see what play that RBG makes if he also heads back to put the power bracelet, so if he's gonna look around here for. And it looks like he's staying.
Yeah, I don't think he's looked at this part of Eastern Death Mountain, whereas I thought xIceblue might have. So he may be clearing this out and then fluting, or he may opt to clear all of Death Mountain.
Well, he finds the white sword item, so that's his extra 2 bonds. I don't think xIceblue picked that up.
xIceblue is at 11 bombs, just now down to 10, so he definitely picked up something somewhere. And I want to say he did look at Eastern Death Mountain, so we may just have missed him picking up that bomb up.
And RBG is going after power bracelet spots, but he's going to the right one first. xIceblue, however, has found level 3. And a super, super quick, easy Triforce in level 3. So that means xIceblue is going to be heading to level 9. Fury, what's he going to be looking for here?
Oh, well, in his case, he'll likely not be staircase hunting too awful much unless he wants to peek in for Red Ring. So it'll be mostly about listening for the roar of Ganon and trying to find Zelda's shutter door that doesn't open if you haven't found Ganon, or if you found Ganon and taken him down, opens before the enemies are all killed in the room. You can get some hints along the way to make things a little bit easier. The old men will tell you compass location, Zelda's location, Ganon's location, or that the silver arrows lie elsewhere. So you have a couple of options on how to get your information in the seed.
It looks like it's going to be that lovely Wizro Lytle set here in level 9. So combat could still be a thing. And he is back in Death Mountain, and we know level 3 was only 1 room. So this is still going to be very, very close, chat. xIceblue will have maybe a 2 to 3 minute advantage, but that's not much in this.
Yeah, at the rate that we're currently going here, it looks like it'll be about a 15 room advantage for xIceblue in level 9, assuming that RBG takes the correct pathing to the Triforce. There's really only one door that he...
path.
I think it was the second room past the entrance, so it most likely will be forced enough for him to find it. Meanwhile, we have the first hint room, and it does give us the beast's location, so we have enough information to go on probably to see xIceblue go left as much as possible.
RBG is now in 3, so it's just going to be a couple of rooms. Hopefully he doesn't take any detours.
Yeah, his only potential detour was that bomb wall right there, but decided against it and is happy to find that.
Now he's going to just flew back to level, I believe it was 4, and run at level 9 himself, so xIceblue does have the advantage. We'll see which one of them finds the right path first.
And so far it's kind of looking like you might have to find a staircase to kind of get you out of the eastern side of this dungeon. Looks like we have our first chance at a potential shutter door, but he's not even interested yet.
And just these bombs are not doing much good.
And RBG opted to do the opposite strategy of, instead of clearing rooms without taking staircases, he took a staircase right away. And takes him... Yeah, it takes him to the western side, and he's trying to go up through the key door. Is this Ganon right here? No.
Now, we only have audio on one of them, so it'll be a surprise when RBG finds it. We are playing xIceblue audio.
Meanwhile, he has found Zelda already. So we already have a shot at potentially finding Zelda and Ganon with the correct staircase routing right off the bat. Because as we got that hint from xIceblue side, we know that Ganon is likely up here. This room goes dark, but again, it's not quite Ganon yet. Will this be the room? And given that he is not... Man, he's trying to get the bomb drop, but that guy was trolling pretty good.
xIceblue
I believe...
is pretty much the same sector.
I believe Redbird is trying to get out of that room to go this way, so I think he probably heard something.
And Redbirdgrad hasn't found Ganon in the emote room. It's gonna be 8 hits with the 1 to finish the pig.
He got really fortunate with that first shot, was able to get him right off the bat, but he went to the other side of the room.
Ganon being slippery, not letting Redbird block him.
Yeah, he takes him down after 8 hits, so it looks like he's going to be able to get the Triforce power. Zelda is only 3 rooms away. He may have just stolen this away from xIceblue. Meanwhile, I do think xIceblue is going to hear the roar in this room, so he's going to know that he's not too far away, but going to get a bit of bad news once RBG gets out of the pancake.
And there it is. RBG has risked again and risking Zelda, taking first place with an official start time of 54 minutes and 8 seconds.
Meanwhile, xIceblue is now in his Ganon fight too, so this could come down to just a minute worth of time difference.
Where we will let xIceblue finish off before we invite Redbird in. We'll have a chat with both of them. It gets him in the stunlock.
And down goes Ganon for a second time.
Away.
Yep. So let's see what SRL time he gets officially.
And he also gets bullied by the pancake just a little bit. Goes down 1 room, takes second place with an official SRL time of 55 minutes, 28 seconds. Just about 20-second difference in this race. Very well done. We do have Redbirdgrad in chat with us. GG, my friend. Well played.
Thank you, man.
So, xIceblue did have maybe a 3 to 5 minute advantage if you were going to level 9. That's how close this dude was.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I kind of spun my wheels a little bit, and I rechecked things that I usually don't, and my start was slower than I wanted. I was just dead set on getting the Armos item instead of routing like I always do, and it being the 5th location, the most out of the way of my path, really kind of set me off slope.
Yep, but fortunately you opted into the staircase in level 9, whereas xIceblue's strategy was to kind of clear progressively room to room. And that first staircase you took just kind of led you to both Zelda and Ganon kind of got you through there a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And it's really weird because I usually don't take staircases when I have the bow and silvers, but we hadn't found Red Ring yet. So I'm like, unless Red Ring was in 3 that I noped out of as soon as I got the Triforce and took off, I thought the Red Ring was going to be in 9. So I'm like, well, I'm going to take every staircase because something could help me, or I could do what just happened.
GG's.
We also have xIceblue in chat with us. GG, my friend, we'll play. That was a heck of a race. Very, very close.
GG, RBG.
Yeah, GG, dude. I heard you were kicking my butt for about 50 minutes of this thing.
Yeah, xIceblue, you had about maybe 3 to 5 minute lead going into level 9.
Should I have taken that first staircase?
That was the difference. Redbird jumped into the staircase and you went north, and that was basically all the difference was.
Yeah, I figured as much.
When I was walking in 9, I'm going to be completely honest, I thought I was okay. Like, I felt good about it. I was like, man, I don't know, besides the beginning of this seed, how much faster I could have played it. I thought my routing in the mid-game and end-game were on point, but I had no clue that it was this close.
Did you find the head shop?
I found one hint shop, I believe. Hold on, let me see.
The one right by the
RBG, you found both.
The one by the Vanilla 4 raft spot?
If it happened more than 5 minutes ago, I have no idea. Yeah, I think I found both those, and I bought all the hints. No, I bought 4 of the hints, and then I went to buy the 5th one, and I'm like, I don't need any more information, and I just kind of left.
Yeah, I got the first set of hints, and I found out the ladder was in 1, the wand was in 8, and then the second hint shop is when I was searching for the power bracelet, and I got the first hint I bought was the power bracelet hint for 6.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a new power bracelet was required, but I had everything in every other level to that point when I found that information out, so I knew to dig at 6. Otherwise, I probably would have been.
I'm so happy I found that hint, and I think 1 about the red candle being a feat of strength.
Yeah, same for sure, definitely. Because I would have, I didn't do any of West Death Mountain besides level 3s, like where I stopped.
Yep, this is exactly how my routing went.
Well, and I first I thought I was like, okay, let me go check the grave. But then I started doing the Southwest, and I'm like, no, let me finish 5 first. And like, I'm doing other things, getting sidetracked, and then I check the grave and push it, and I'm like, oh crap, it's not there, so I definitely have to have it.
So here's what happened. So xIceblue found level 8 first, grabbed his wand. He had the one advantage for a good 5-10 minutes. Then you picked up yours, RBG, and then you guys were basically pretty much neck and neck pretty much the entire way up until the Death Mountain level 6, level 3. xIceblue left and went and found level 9, then went straight back to the Death Mountain. You opened up a couple of the other extra power versus spots, and you went up there also. But while you were looking at that, xIceblue was going through 9 a little bit, and that's basically what it was. He went north, and you took the staircase, and that's kind of the difference.
Yeah, it's what happens. Level 9's that equalizer.
Yeah, 9 happens to everybody, and I'm usually the one on the short end of the stick, so this is very surprising to me.
It's not surprising to me is what was in level 7, although it was a little bit easier than I think most of us were rooting.
I think, didn't somebody make a comment about silvers being in 7 when we first scheduled our race?
That's like daily for me, man. Everybody makes that comment with me. The funny thing is, if the top, like if we didn't start 1 below or 2 below the top of 7, I don't think I would have gone up, because I was just fooling around, like checking a room or 2 just to get a key and then keep going. Like I wanted to get some resources out of 7, and I didn't plan on digging 7 at all. And I'm like, oh, stairway, like, oh, silvers, what in the?
Yeah, I was hoping, because of like the placement of the entrance of level 7, you'd be like, oh, there's going to be nothing to the 1 room north. I'm going to go down. And you didn't.
No, always short side first. It's easier to clear.
It was, okay, so it was HN. HN said, I'll just have to heckle RBG in chat when silvers are in 7.
HN calls it, that dude is prophetic, man. I mean, he can call any race. It's hysterical.
All right, RBG, so you are now 1-0. Who's getting the call out for week 2?
JSR, but he didn't enter the tournament, so I can't do it. I'm just messing with him. He's in my chat right now. I don't care. I'm having a lot of fun. xIceblue was a great dude. I mean, we've connected and hooked up this week and just started talking back and forth and just hanging out and playing Zelda. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everybody in here is real cool, and I don't care who I get. Had fun last tournament, have fun in this tournament. It doesn't really matter.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, I did say last night I am also 1-0, and they were asking me, and I said I wanted another you or saver, so hopefully
Let's go,
I'll see you
dude.
next week.
Let's
I know
go.
you'll kick my butt, but I'd love to take you on, my friend.
Not if I wander Hyrule for 10 minutes like I did just this time.
All right, so with that, we do have 2 more races in the Zelda 1 tournament coming up tonight. We have a very good one between Saver and Malagord. That'll be over on Randomania. But we have the last highlight of the week, possibly. We have Theirwolf and J-Cobra. That's going to be one to watch. We have that at 11 p.m. on Speed Gaming 3. So we got more races coming up. I hope you guys all have a good night. Please give both RBG and xIceblue a follow, as well as my co-con today, Furious K. Thank you for stepping in with Fury. I appreciate it, my friend.
No problem, sir. Take it away.
And with that, everyone, have a great night. We'll see you guys in the next race.